come from. The truth is an irony, just like animal farm. Justice mean inequity, so who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Christian can say silence, Islamic leaders silence, kings and queens silence, traditional leaders silence. So who go say the truth? We are the workers of comfort call. Now by area, why no better? We are the workers of comfort call. One guy's out here, why no better? Who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Oh, he need it now, see what I see so. Now your friend on a nine come at them. Only papi obeka na sembia. So I want one over to it too. Everybody was afraid. And when Tinanan to my cottage, I get 9. Once my boy dumping one and I see. But who go tell the truth? Nanai or say me. Nanso bien person beka wasam because everybody is afraid. Aya safwe muaini. Akuku drofo nyina dalima. And who go say the truth? Obiaja konson so to grow your man sa to me bia kakobrafo. Efo anyina ye. Efo wanyina ye. Na so kutrata down na so bidia back or why no keke. Afene fo be man mo pia fo efo ne cross on my mo. Anya safwe muaini. Akuku drofo nyina dalima. And who go say the truth? Abaya di bote chino. Yedi bi bebo nyande bi. Kachi se udi oma upipi numa. Would your mind never shine my frafonsa? But who go tell the truth? TUC, silence, even journalists, silence. Oh, then who go say the truth? Right is right, wrong is wrong, no matter how you justify. You say you wanna get rid of corruption. Someone want to help you. Now the person become your target. Jobless no they mean senseless. Poverty no they mean useless. One day them go resist.
Right, good evening. Welcome to MyView, a socio-political program that discusses current affairs pertaining to Ghana politics and everything that comes during the week. We look at the current news that's trending in the newspapers and online, and we discuss it. Today, I'm sitting in for Dr. Jerome Ban. My name is Caroline Osei. We are currently broadcasting live on Twitter. We are on TikTok and also on podcast on Anchor FM and on Sakina Information Center in Tatali. You can follow us on this same network. Currently, we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube, all on Today Ghana News TV. Today's topic is quite, I always say, interesting, and I feel that everything we discuss on this platform is very important. And so we take all our time to go through anything we have to do to make sure we bring you the right informations. We are talking about Kumewu, the outcome and matters arising. And you can see that the elections held in Kumewu, they were actually peaceful, and that's what we're all hoping to see. And so many people talk about particular people voting due to ethnic backgrounds, and personally, I don't find anything wrong with it. I am okay when somebody decides to vote for me because he or she comes from the same place, but the person must only vote for me apart from me coming from the same town or city with her, must know that I am competent enough and I've been able to perform that which the citizenry was expecting me to do. And we have a very special guest on the program today to discuss this topic. And I'm sure that by the time we finish the program, we would have more information to the questions that we've been asking ourselves, whether or not the Ghanaian people really know what they want, and that's the expectations of leaders vis-a-vis how they voted the people, and whether or not they were supposed to really vote them into power. If it really makes sense. You know, people deserve the kind of leadership they get. That's the thoughts of many. The people deserve the kind of leaders they have, because when somebody has been voted into power and the person has not done what was expected of him to do, and you still renew the mandate, that it means that there is something more. Is it lack of information? Is it that people don't have enough evidence on the ground to tell those in authority that, you know, we gave you power for a reason, and if that reason has not been exhausted, now has not been achieved, if whatever we were expecting you to do, you've not been able to do it, then it's only right for us to kick you out. I will introduce Comrade Florence Kpan as she joins us for today's discussion. Welcome, Comrade. I mean, it's so nice to see you. You're looking very nice, and we are glad to have you on the show. Comrade Florence Kpan is the Upper West Women's Organizer. Yeah, I just spoke about the Kumewu by-election, and I mean, before I throw out my questions, I just want you to say something, have a little bite on everything. I mean, just like say something to us, and then my questions will come.
All right. I will say a very good evening from my end this evening. So, our listeners and viewers, this is Florence Kpan, the Upper West Regional Deputy Women Organizer, once again on your television. And I hope to have a very wonderful program with you. I'm going to give you nothing but the best from Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade. You know, considering the outcome of this election, this by-election, do you think the NDC prepared enough for the kind of results they had, or the number of votes they were able to gather during this by-election? I feel that the NDC could have done better. I feel that the NDC, I mean, I have my own observations, but what do you think they went in prepared for this Kumewu election?
Yeah, it's in the heart of the Ashanti region, yeah, and a stronghold at that for NPP.
Yes.
So if you have been following the happenings in Kumawu from 92 till date, you will appreciate that it has always been for the MPP.
Okay.
No other party than the MPP. To the by-election that we just witnessed, we all saw that if you were not in Kumawu, but at least you saw it on your television.
Yeah.
We saw what happened in Kumawu. We saw the vote buying in Kumawu. We saw how they shared cloths. We saw how they shared rice in Kumawu. We saw all the dirty things that even a constituents of Kumawu never witnessed in their entire life. But for the sake of by-election, they saw all these things. We saw how equipments were backed to Kumawu in the name of constructing their roads. Today, go back to that constituency, those equipments, they have taken them to Asin Fosunov. Yeah. So if you look at whatever that transpired, you will say that MPP was actually determined to win that seat. They never wanted to lose that seat for anything. It has always been their seat, and they protected it jealously. Even when they were in power, when the same, may his soul rest in peace, the former MP, the MP that just passed on, when he was the MP, how they maltreated him, how they turned their back in 2020 when he needed them in Kumawu to campaign for him. They turned their back on him. Today, everybody from the president, the vice president, the national chairman, everything in NPP was in Kumawu to ensure that they win that seat. It tells you how much that seat means to them, how dear it is to the MPP government. All this that they were doing, it was for the mere fact that already we all know we have almost a hanged parliament. Yeah, they forcibly they used the judiciary to take Asin North from NDC, which was not the right procedure. Even if Asin North should be declared, it's not the judiciary, it should be the Speaker of Parliament. But they use their powers as government to squeeze that seat from NDC. Now, after all these things, they saw that even the Kumawu, that by-election was declared by nature, God took the life of the MP, by-election was declared. They saw that the government had performed very terribly. Yes. And if not a lot to be done, they will lose that seat. If you look at the statistics from 2020, in Kumawu, NDC did not win in Kumawu. NDC had 2,439 votes in Kumawu, representing 8.3%. NPP then had 14,000, representing 51%. But then they had an independent candidate who was able to count over 11,000. So if you look at these statistics, you will appreciate the performance of NDC in the just by-election. The by-election, NDC was able to make over 3,000. NPP, the independent candidate who was an MPP in 2020 did not come this time around. But if you look at the 11,000 votes, 14,000, then NPP should have been garnering like 25,000 votes. Yeah. They had a miserable 15.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
14. Yeah. So what it means is that over 8,000 of Kumawu did not vote. And we all know, if you want to analyze the politics in Ashanti region, you will appreciate that it has always been for MPP.
MPP.
And even though they are disappointed in the government, but they will not choose any other party. They will prefer to sit. Yeah, they will prefer to sit and watch than to say we are going in for NDC.
Yeah,
so NDC,
I mean,
that much to be able to get over 3,000. For me, it's a victory for NDC. For NDC to move from 2,439 to 3,000, I think that NDC has won that election.
Yeah.
For NDC, even if you look at the results they had this by-election and that of 2020, they only appreciated by a miserable 309
votes.
And
the NDC over 1,002 votes. Yeah.
Over.
Yes.
So
I mean, I think you are right to a certain extent, but I would expect that as an opposition party that is preparing itself to take power or wrestle power from the MPP, I believe that the NDC could have done better. But the reason why there are so many things that people in a particular region or with a certain ethnic background, the decisions they make, because they feel that, well, I mean, once in their mind, these politicians are the same. So, I mean, if, for example, this one is corrupt and the other one is also corrupt, even if the percentage of corruption is higher in the people they think they voted for, you rather go in for that person, you see. So the NDC should probably do something more, because I feel that the NDC came in with a posture that, I mean, this is their stronghold. But if you are planning to wrestle power from this government, do you think that's the posture you should take? You think you should be happy with yourselves with this performance? I'm not saying you did not appreciate votes, but I'm asking that, do you think that you should be happy with yourself?
If you look at the happenings in Kumewu, how they were able to even force our agents to sign pink sheets even before the voting, it indicates that if not for the timely intervention of one of our former NC, was able to arrest that situation, it would have been worse.
Worse.
What it means is that the 8,000 people, over 8,000 that refused to vote in the by-elections, but their votes would have been added to the MPP. If you look at the forces that went to Kumewu to campaign, how they were able to deceive the people of Kumewu, making them to believe that they had actually come to help them. They were able, John Dramani Mahama that built a hospital for them that was in the process, 70% complete hospital. They went there claiming to want to complete that hospital. Today they have abandoned that hospital. They went there claiming to tie their roads. Today all the machines that were there have been taken away from them. But as a human being, if you see them at site trying to work on your roads, you see them at the JN's building trying to complete that. Of course, the people of Kumewu need an hospital. They need their roads to be worked on. They believe, they didn't know, they have heard people talk about the deceit of NPP, but I think they didn't believe it so much until after this election, after this by-election, that they really got to understand what it means to be NPP.
Yeah.
So going into Kumewu with all these machines, it got them to believe that they were actually out to work. They were actually poised for Kumewu. It got them even the monies that they were.
Well, I think we are having a bit of network problems. We will kindly take a break as we we hope that Comrade Florence Span joins us. Oh, well, I'm happy you've joined us back. Yeah, we're talking about you being happy with yourselves as NDC with your performance, But for the optics, the Kumewu is the stronghold of the MPP. The MPP, shouldn't have gone through all this gymnastics to win this election. But you see that if really they had managed the economy well, it wouldn't have been a problem at all. We know governments in the past they do this sometimes. When there is a by-election, they go there and they go there and then they, at the end of the day, excuse me, my son was just trying to enter the program. They go in there and then at the end of the day, they want to do things to impress the voters to vote for them. So we would expect that as a stronghold of the party, they don't have to go through all these things. But because they have not managed the economy well, you find them doing all kinds of things to win the election. So I was really hoping that because the NDC had a lot of points, they would have taken this seat. It could have easily been won, but be it as it may, the NDC appreciated votes, and then we are hoping that the next time they go into the Kumewu election, they will perform better. Now let's talk about the MPP touting itself as the best, this particular government touting itself as the best performing government in the Fourth Republic. Do you think that this message is going down to the people, even though it's not true? And do you think that this message has the tendency to change the minds of people in the upcoming election 2024?
Yeah, if you look at all that happened in Kumewu, the reasons for MPP to be that desperate, to want to buy votes, to want to deceive the good people of Kumewu and that of Ghanaians, number one is for them to improve on the almost hanged parliament. Number two, they are doing all these things to cover the stealing and killings that they have committed against the good people of Ghanaians. How they have been able to inherit an inflation of 4%, and now we are talking about 50% in Ghana. So all these things, they know they have performed miserable. If there's a word that is worse than miserable, then we will have to fetch that. They know they have been a very terrible government Ghana has ever witnessed. So they will do everything. If they will have to steal, they will steal. They told us. And I always tell my people, when they tell you they want to break the 8, they mean it. They have broken the 4. They will want to break the 8. Because that 4, they were supposed to remain there. Yeah. But they are not able to break through to 8. They had 8 years. Now they want to break that 8 and probably want to have 12 or more.
Yeah.
But what's NDC, the good thing about NDC is that NDC, we have the message. MPP, they have the money. They have stolen enough from Ghanaians. They have stolen enough, this IMF thing that they have gone spelling doom for Ghana. They have done worse. And what they have now is money.
Yeah.
NDC, we don't have the money, but we have the message. We have the goodwill. We have good intentions for Ghanaians. We have done it before.
Enough? Is that enough? Because I know the NDC has always had the message. You've always have the message, and is that enough And if you really think it is enough, how are you getting this message to the lowest person? I mean, to the people who are in the deepest of villages, maybe even in the forest, not forest as I say, but those in the remote areas. Because I mean, you can have all the good messages, you can have the goodwill, but sometimes in this world we know that truth does not really win. Even though truth should be the one on top. When truth is a human being, should always be on top, but you know that it's not so. Is it enough? How prepared is the NDC?
The truth, just the truth is not enough for today's politics. Yes, but once we have God on our side, we have the truth, we are also ready to match them good for good. Kumawu is one example. If not for the vigilance of NDC, they would have been able to get that agent to sign the pink sheet and nobody would know anything about it. They would have been able to get the over 8,000 people that never voted to be counted. So this is an indication that NDC is now more vigilant on election day than ever. This is an indication that we are ready to match them good for good. NDC should have, if they had performed somehow, not even better, somehow, NDC wouldn't have even gotten 1,000 votes in Kumawu. But for us to get over 3,000, it's an indication that NPP is losing it in Kumawu. If they over 8,000 people that never voted, if they wanted to be fair, I think they are the principled ones in Kumawu. They think that their party is not good, but they don't want to betray their tradition. They see NPP as a tradition. They don't want to betray their tradition, so they will stay off. It's better for they have lost it for politicians. Maybe if it's not NPP, then let me just not vote at all. So if those people were fair and they want to go for the better option, they would have come to NDC.
That is it, yeah.
So that means NDC would have had over 12,000 votes.
Yeah. I mean, I can agree with you, and I might come across as a bit biased as a host, but I mean, sometimes sometimes on social political programs like this, you tend to sound a bit biased because of the matter on the table. But looking at the NDC, I think that NDC has the requisite skills to bring back the economy on track. And do you think that after this abysmal failure of this particular government, do you think that in this last 19 months or so that they've got, they are ready to accept that they do not have the skill and the technical know-how, all the plans that they need to put in place so that we get at least the economy on track before the next government takes power? Do you think that even with this IMF deal, they are ready to accept? Because when the narrative doesn't sound, it doesn't look like people who are ready to accept that they've done something wrong. To them, everything that they've done is wrong. It's right, excuse me. Everything that every decision they've taken is right. I have never heard any of the government communicators accepting that as for this, we've gone wrong. How is the NDC positioning itself to really kind of persuade people to know that we have the skill, we've done it before, and so believe in the message vote for us for a better management of the economy.
Yeah, for MPP to admit that they have not done any better, they have not even done any good to talk of better. That is, I think they have already admitted that. We have witnessed Ochre Dako on one of our major televisions accepting the fact that you know who these people are. To want to say the government has misled Ghanaians, he did not put it that way. He said Bawumia has made. Who is Bawumia?
Oh, really? I have not heard that.
Maybe I will say it to you.
This is fresh.
Yes, this
is fresh. Okay.
Bawumia has misled Ghanaians. That led to the IMF. It's not who is Bawumia. Bawumia is just a vice president. If anyone has misled Ghanaians, it should be the president and his people, and that will include Bawumia. But if you will have to mention Bawumia, then you are just giving a dog a bad name just to hang it.
Yeah.
We have witnessed Kandapa coming out to admit the fact that the government has misled Ghanaians.
Oh.
Yes, just last week he came out with this.
Wow.
We have seen the late, what's in the name, one of their big men that just passed on.
Oh,
he came out publicly to say the government he even mentioned President Akufo-Addo led government has misled Ghanaians completely. After a short while,
these people you are mentioning, don't you think? I mean, apart from Gabi, I don't want to concentrate on him because I mean, I can't say anything. But these people that you are mentioning, don't you think that they are disgruntled? Because I mean, a loyal of Akufo-Addo will not. A President Akufo-Addo, let me put it in a better way, because he is our president. So will not come out to them. The best way to show that we haven't done well is to defend everything. And sometimes I find it, I mean, a bit nauseating. You know, it's sad to see people who you've elected into office and hoping that they'll give you what they promised that they were going to give you, and to see that they don't want to accept their mistakes, and also to see that Ghanaians still, quite a large number of Ghanaians still feel they should be in power. So who then are you fighting for? Is it that you're fighting for yourself as a party, or for Ghanaians? How are you going to bring along these people and let them know that, you know, we are fighting for you?
If you think apart from Ochre, probably the rest might have been discounted. What about Alan Chiramanten, who just resigned? What about the former agric minister who just resigned?
They want to be president. They want to be president. You know, both of them are following they are just.
Not say they have not been treated well. These are people that just came out of that same government.
Yeah.
If they come, my people have a saying that if the fish comes out from the water to say the crocodile has one eye, who are you to say no? Okay. You are not in the water. Okay. So you can't say the crocodile has two eyes. You have to accept the fact that what the fish said is true. These are people that have just come out from MPP to tell us the party has misled Ghanaians, to tell us the government led by Akufo-Addo has misled Ghanaians. They have cheated Ghanaians. They have stolen from Ghanaians. They have killed more Ghanaians.
Oh. So you're still watching Today Ghana News, yeah.
Yeah.
You're back,
yeah. So for us to have all these confessions from them is an indication that they themselves have admitted. Why would they send all those machines to Kumewu if they think they were in the right path? Why would they go to Kumewu with so much money to buy goods if they think that they had performed well? Why would they go to Kumewu with lots of cloths and rice to share? Even the rice, it was just a cup full of rice just to buy one food, a cup full. That cup probably will not, my house, a cup will not do for me.
Okay, so you're still watching Today Ghana News TV. We are currently broadcasting live on Switch, YouTube, and then LinkedIn, and then follow us via Twitter, and we'll take a short break. And when we come back, we'd like to go into the Ascend North by-election, and we have few discussions. Keep on bringing in your messages. We've got quite a few messages, and then we also like to tell you to share these links to your friends so that they can join this interesting program. So we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll go into the Ascend North by-election. The upcoming.
Today's Ghana News TV is 2 years old, and we continue to give you the very best. Within our 2-year period, we have introduced our newspaper, the Evening Tribune. Tribune, when it comes, tribulation, you should expect it. It comes with all the hardcore news items, and we report it as it is, as you see it, and as you hear it. So do make a date with us. It comes out every Wednesday, so Thursday morning is right up there. Get a copy of it and get more informed. Do get in touch with us, and we have any article, we will do the publication for you.
Welcome back. You're still watching Today Ghana News TV, and we are currently live on Switch via satellite, Instagram, and YouTube all on Today Ghana News. You can still follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and also on podcast on Anchor FM. And Sakina Information Center in Tatale is also in the northern region. They are broadcasting this program live. As I mentioned earlier on, we're going to go into the Ascend North by-election. Is the NDC well prepared? My question has always been, is the NDC ready and prepared enough to wrestle power from this government? Because every indication, economic indicators are showing that the NDC has performed better in the past years than this government. And if only they will be able to know what they're supposed to do well, I'm sure that victory will be the NDC's in 2024. And surely candidates John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, past president, will be sworn in again as Ghana's next president. So I will take some few messages that you've sent in before I go to Comrade Florence Ban. I'll take a few messages. Keep on sending your messages. Send the links to your friends, those who are on. So we are seeing Comrade Novisi Talks. Good evening, comrades. Good evening, Madam. We are happy to have you. Bear Fifrimpono Hene, good evening, watching from St. Petersburg, Russia. Nana Tafim, good evening, my sisters, watching live from totally northern region, Ghana, and you are live on the Sakina Information Center. The NDC really did well at Kumewu. Thank you. I'm happy you are pleased with the NDC. Mavis Boaten watching you on YouTube from Lisbon, Portugal. Your guest is on top of issues. Thank you. Good evening, my fellow comrades, Carol and Flora. That's Omar Dennis Mahamud. What a wonderful pragmatic analysis. Comrade Florence, you are really on top of issues. Good submission, Mama Caroline, Madam Novisi talks sense. Omar Dennis Mahmoud, kudos to both of you for marvelous job. More grace to your elbows. Thank you. So keep bringing in your messages, as I mentioned. Good evening, Patricia Bedu. Madam Patricia Bedu, greetings, Madam Hostess, and your special guest. Kudos, comrade. Thank you very much. Patricia Bedu, our people have been impoverished so much that they don't even realize selling their votes with foodstuffs, that they want their generation to suffer forever. Yeah, I mean, we are hoping that people will understand the purpose for voting in leaders. You know, one would expect that when a leader hasn't been up to task, hasn't been able to do what is expected of him to do, you only show him the north wind. You tell this leader by voting the leader out. You know, but I'm sure that as time goes on, information about why people need to vote the right people in power will go down to the deprived areas, and things will, I'm sure that Ghana will be on a better track now. So I'll bring back Florence Span, Comrade Florence Span, yeah, yeah. I was saying that we've discussed the Kumewu by-election. We've spoken at length, and I'm convinced that the NDC will perform better next time. So let's look at the next war ahead of us. There is a great hurdle ahead of the NDC. I know that Honorable Achikweisen won the 2020 election, but considering the kind of gymnastics and the kind of tricks that the MPP can pull up, how is the NDC going to overcome such hurdles? I mean, such things like the hitches that's ahead. I mean, we haven't experienced it, but we know that there are hitches ahead.
Yes, as enough candidates, honorable question. I think it's a headache. Not that I think, that is a fact. It's a headache to MPP from the start.
Okay.
How he came into that constituency, because he was like the Jesus Christ of Asenov. They actually called in for this gentleman to come contest for that seat. If you go back to the results in 2020, Honorable Questions had more votes than Akufo-Addo in Asenov. He had more votes than John Dramani Mahama in Asenov. What it means is that this gentleman is the Messiah in Asenov. And that makes him, that is just his crime. That makes him MPP's headache. For you to say he has dual citizenship, this was a gentleman that never nursed a political ambition. That was just there for his people, that wanted the betterment of his constituency. So after scrutinizing the constituency, the people themselves saw that it was this man that can salvage them. He has done it, and they know if they give him the nod as an MP, he will do more. So they came in for him, but then he wasn't a citizen. So it's like Florence sitting in Wa, and you call me to come and be the Queen Mother. in Germany. How was I supposed to know you will ever call me to come to Germany?
Yes.
For me, I was enjoying my TZ and WA. I didn't know you had plans of getting me to come to Germany. Now
Yeah.
you call this man to come and contest. He had to denounce that citizenship to be able to qualify. I think the letter came a month to the opening of nomination. And they said if by the opening of nomination, you don't denounce it, by law, you are not qualified. When this gentleman was out there, you didn't believe he could win. When he came and you knew that he had just denounced his citizenship, you didn't believe this man could win that election. So it wasn't an issue at all. All of a sudden, getting the shock of your life, now you think he is your problem.
Yeah.
Use the appropriate authorities to get him out. If you think that he has offended, use the appropriate authority. You never did. Because you are in power, which you forget that you will soon be out of power, you want to abuse your powers by getting judiciary, which has never happened, to force this gentleman out of his seat. Thinking that if you get him out means you will today, if today's question is qualified, 100%, more than 100% qualified contest.
Yeah.
Abi, he has denounced it. Yes. The period probably before his nomination, he wasn't qualified. Today, he is more than qualified. But he is not even coming. Now the party has settled on his junior brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. But I saw some posters out with his name and his photos on it.
Yeah, if you see that picture, if you see the junior brother in person, like it will only take a juju man to convince you that it's not person.
Really?
I see. So much alike.
Wow.
Yes. So this will tell you that if MPP thinks they are smart, NDC is smarter. Questions on his own did not impress the people of Assin North. The people of Assin North have seen how that family had impacted positively in that constituency.
Yeah.
So if you force question out and a question is coming in, every question is question. So they are going to accept that brother, knowing very well that they have the 100% support of the MP.
Yeah, but information reaching us is that the MPP, they are on the ground. They are there. The NDC is not there.
They have moved the same machines that they took to Kumewu. They have moved those machines to Assin North.
Yeah, so what are you moving?
We are not moving any machine.
Are you only moving? Are you only moving?
Assin North. We have worked in Assin North.
Only moving Kwesi Junior.
If you look at Assin North, it has always been a swing constituency.
Yeah, right.
It was for NPP, it moved to NDC, and MPP is fighting so much to take it back. But if you look at the gap that NDC gave MPP after taking that seat, it's just something that if you want to be fair to yourself, you accept the fact that it will take a very long time until people are fed up with question for you to come in. Because they really demonstrated that they were just out for him. They voted massively for the gentleman. Today, the junior brother is coming. We don't need to bring machines. As Kwesi went to Parliament and was able to deliver within 2 years, that will tell you that if he sits back to support the junior brother, then Assin North is going to experience wonders.
Yes.
If person, even in opposition, is able to impress the good people of Asenov, what it means is that they will still have so much trust in him, and they will believe that person, together with the brother, will send them to the promised land. We don't need to go out there to deceive them. They have already seen those machines in Kumewu, and they are now in Asenov. What it means is that just immediately after the elections, those machines are going to disappear. You can fool some people all the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time.
All the time, yeah. I can tell as women in the Upper West, I'm sure that you contributed to the massive votes increase in Kumewu. So in the same vein, I'm sure you are planning to contribute, or I'm not talking about cash, but in every aspect to help the NDC win what is rightfully theirs in Asenov. What are your...
Some of our MPs in Kumewu to support the party. Some of our MPs were there to campaign for the candidates. So for Upper West, we want NDC to come to power. So whatever that it will take for NDC to come to power, we are there. Whatever that it will take for NDC to win 2024, 100% Upper West is there. Before I got home 15 minutes to the time to come live on this program. After going around 5 constituencies to distribute sanitary pads to some of our deprived schools, and at least giving them hope that even though the government have forgotten of them, we NDC, even though we have nothing, even though we have very little, but the little that we have, we are willing to share. And this went down with them. Junior high schools, senior high schools. The senior high schools, most of them have turned to voting age. So these are people that believe they have had a failed government and they are ready to support NDC to win. And these strategies we give to our sister constituencies. Asenov will not be left out. Kumewu, we have always been in touch. I gave commentary on my status as if I was in Kumewu because I had links there. People were updating me to also update my people. So we are all out to support. We have supported Kumewu, and we are all out to support Asenov to win back that constituency. They want to snatch it from our hands, but by the grace of God, this will not happen. Yeah. God will not endorse a fraud government. God will not endorse a murderous government. God will not want to endorse the worst government that Ghana has ever witnessed. So Asenov, by the good grace of God, we are going to win that seat once again.
Yeah, thank you. You know, you mentioned distribution of sanitary pads. I think this week it has been in the news. What I think somebody said in the northern region about sanitary pads and all that. So it's such a relief to see that the NDC is taking upon itself to give the girl child this sanitary pad. I hope that you can sustain it. I hope that when the NDC comes into power, it will be much easier and much accessible to most people who don't have it now. You know, just to digress a bit, What enforced this, or what influenced this decision to take upon yourself to distribute the sanitary pads, give it to? Are you able to do that every month, and how are you able to find?
Yesterday, 28th of May, happens to be the World Menstrual Hygiene Day.
Okay.
So as a woman's group, I discussed that with my boss, and we saw the need to at least make an impact in the lives of our junior ones. This is not the first time sanitary pads have been distributed. NDC, under the leadership of John Dramani Mahama, secondary schools were given sanitary pads. He distributed sanitary pads to secondary schools every month.
Okay, so this project is just once because of yesterday's, yeah.
Yes, but after John Dramani Mahama's government, no school have witnessed anybody come to distribute sanitary pads. We might think maybe if you are better, if you are an average Ghanaian, you will think sanitary pad is nothing.
Yeah.
But look, when we went out there today, I was like so much touched. These girls, some of them will have to tear their leaflets as a substitute of the pad. Some of them will have to take rags that they are not proud to dry them up. So it means they will wash these rags, dry them probably under their beds, so that the next day they will use same rags as pads. You can imagine the infection. So their substitutes have been so pathetic. When we sent this pad, sanitary pads, even though probably somebody will get one or two, but they get relieved. At least somebody has remembered them.
Yeah.
In junior high school, nobody has ever come to distribute these sanitary pads. Yeah. If you have to give today, here a pack of these pads is 20 Ghana cedis.
Yeah, because of the taxes, they are taxing. Yeah.
They have now, sanitary pads have been taxed 32%.
Yeah.
You see, so the import tax is 20, VAT is 12, 32. Too much. When I started mine, a pad was 5,000, today 50 pesos. Now it is 10, 20 cedis per pad. If you have to distribute, and some of the classes we meet like 50, 60 people. If you're able to distribute sanitary pads to 60, the cost,
that's a lot of money. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Yeah, that's a lot of money. I mean,
we're able to cover 6 schools. So that is so much money. It's not so much money to us because we are in opposition. We don't have money.
Yeah. But comrade,
the government.
You know, Comrade Florence Pam, sometimes I'm very uncomfortable with this thing that governments and parties in opposition always talk about. We are in opposition, we don't have money. So does it mean that when you are in power, I mean, you were in opposition before you got the power. What's the difference? You are making money for yourself? Because I mean, irrespective of whether or not you are in power, you should. I think your status shouldn't really change that much. Is it because when you are a government in power, a party in power, you've got contributors, people who sponsor you, people who want to. Why do you always talk about we are in opposition and we don't have? Because I think the NDC can raise.
Yeah, when you are in power, you have the lobbying power.
Okay.
You have the lobbying voice. You are able to solicit for funds. Okay. If you are in power as a women's wing, and you are going to any organization, they want to listen to you.
Okay.
Because they also have things they want to send to government. It's like the left will watch the right and the right will watch the left. So you always have people ready to listen to you. But when you are in opposition, you are as good as dead. Nobody wants to listen to you. They want to concentrate on the party in power.
Okay.
So when we say we are in opposition, it's not as if when you are in power, you are being paid. No, but at least you can use that position to solicit for funds from other bodies.
I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense because nobody wants to be a friend of a poor person, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, a powerless person, nobody wants to be close to you. So you find out that rich people, rich people always have lots of friends, and you see a very powerful prophet getting lots of people coming to, because nobody wants a powerless. And so in that vein, I think I can understand you, but we will take some few messages. I feel we've had a very good discussion. We are going to take some few messages. You've been sending messages in, and just as a reminder, you're still watching Today Ghana News TV, and this is MyView, a socio-political program that discusses the current affairs in Ghana. So Patricia Bedu, interestingly, the MPP has been exposed so much in these recent elections. I have been the NDC. I believe the NDC have gathered momentum for fueling. Thank you. Yeah, I think interestingly enough, the MPP has successfully exposed their malicious behaviors regarding the recent by-election. The NDC will surely meet them boot for boot. Yeah, and bring in your messages. We've got some few minutes to wrap up the show. Honorable, thanks for the assurance that we know the strategies of the NDC, of the MPP, excuse me, and we shall work towards that. Yeah, so I think those are the few messages we've had. It's been such an interesting time and informative time with Comrade Florence Span, and we are hoping that as the NDC goes into the Asenov by-election with the mechanisms that the NDC is putting in place, the plans, there are some of them, I'm sure they don't bring it out on social media for everybody to know their plans, but I'm sure that they are preparing themselves to win the seat again, to take back the seat again with a better and a higher margin and a better performance. So thank you very much, Comrade Florence Span. We are so grateful that we had you today on the program. As always, we find it a delight to have you on, and we are hoping that the next time we come knocking at your door, you will open to us again and come and educate us well the way you always do. And so all we can say to you is thank you. Keep on working hard for the NDC. I'm sure that you will surely see your work. You see the results of your work. So have a very good evening in Upper West Region. we hope to come there. Yeah, we are hoping that we'll come there and then we'll come and enjoy the teasers with you. So thank you very much for coming on today. Do you have anything to say to your people in conclusion?
Yes, I'll use this opportunity to thank the good people of Upper West, most especially my regional chairman, Abdul Nasir Sani, popularly known as Unas, my MP, Anthony Menkara Suma, who just won the primaries again to lead the good people of Nadoli-Kaliu. My women organizers, constituency women organizers and their deputies, my branch women organizers. Just as I told you this afternoon, we are poised for action and no stopping at all until the 7th of December 2024. By the grace of God, we are going to come victorious. God himself knows we are very prepared. So he is going to give us the victory. So I thank you all for always supporting me, for believing in me. My Uncle Jerome, I have not forgotten of you, my favorite uncle. Thank you so much, and God bless you all. Madam Caro, I miss you.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, we've come to the end of today's program. I mean, we still have to let Comrade Florence Spam go. Well, we can't hold her on. So we thank you for joining us. We hope that you enjoyed the show. If you have any comments and if you have anything else to say, please don't hold on. Don't hesitate to send it to us. We are ready to listen to you and to know what you want best. You can sometimes send information to us on all the various platforms, and we'll take it upon and then discuss it as you wish. So as I sat in for Dr. Jerome Pan, thank you for joining us, and see you next week.
The country where I come from, the truth is irony. Just like animal farm, justice mean inequity. So who go say the truth? Who go say the truth?